His name will be blessed forever and ever. Shalom, back, Baruch Hashem, back to study the laws of the Torah. We are back to study the laws of Shabbat. We stopped at some point to study the laws of Purim, and I think we had Hanukkah and Passover, Hanukkah, Purim, Passover. So now we are back, Bezrat Hashem, till Shavuot. We will study a little bit laws of Yom Tov in general, okay? I just want to wrap it up with the halachot of the electricity and the use of electric appliances. This is class number 3. We have at the very end, actually. Okay, so we talked about the use of electric on Shabbat, like appliances, turn it on and off. Of course, it's forbidden. And the problem starts when you are present in a place that you're trapped. For example, a hotel. You need to go back to the hotel, but there's electrical doors. What are you going to do? Elevator on Shabbat. So there is something called Ma'alit Shabbat, elevator for Shabbat, that stops in every floor. So this one, some poskim holds that it's permitted to use on Shabbat. It's always, the only way to do that is to go inside the hotel or a place with electrical doors, is to wait to a non-Jew to open it for you. So it's highly recommended before one goes to a hotel to ask them to help you out. Tell them, when you see me coming out, we're going out, leaving the building, going to the building, show me a side door. That's what we did last time, just a few months ago, right before Passover. I went to Miami for a wedding. We stayed there for Shabbat. So we asked them for a side door, and they did have a side door that we could use. The problem was we could leave, we could not come back because it was locked from the outside. We had to knock on the door. Sometimes we were lucky, so if someone was there, he saw us knocking on the door. It's really a side door, and he opened for us. Other than that, it was almost, I would say impossible. It was really hard. We always had to wait till someone would come in. Nevertheless, we told them about it. So you need to be aware of this kind of situation. And I think we left off in this halacha, okay, 95. If a non-observant Jew turns on the lights in the stairwell on Shabbat, it is nevertheless permissible to climb the stairs, but one should climb them no faster than one would have done in the dark. Meaning, don't take advantage of it. A secular Jew turns on the light, not supposed to take advantage of it. It would be much better if a non-Jew would do it, because the secular still prohibited from doing that. So we're not supposed to really take advantage of that in that way. It's all ideas of to feel that this is Shabbat. It's not a regular day or Yom Tov. Okay. Now, if a non-Jew opened the door electronically on behalf of a Jew, like we mentioned the hotel, on Shabbat, he may enter through this door. If he has a choice of using a different entrance, then that can be opened manually. Of course, we said this is better. In case someone get close unintentionally to a door that opens automatically, okay, a doorway, and he didn't realize that this is electronically open, or he thought that's he's far away from the laser sensor, and he got open, he can take advantage and go inside the room. Hashem knows your heart. He knows that you didn't do it purposely, and therefore you can go in. Just don't play games like, I didn't notice. Oh, yeah. You don't play games with God. There's a lot of situation and occasion that can happen. I can't cover all of them, obviously. This is why it's important that everybody will study these practical halachot. For example, the other day, someone asked me, hey, I have the car alarm going off. It's crazy, making noise, the entire neighborhood. What should I do? So here in America, it's relatively easier because you have neighbors and non-Jew, you can ask from them to help you. In places that you live like in a Jewish settlement or a Jewish city, it's hard to find a non-Jew. That's going to be probably a problem. But to discuss this in another occasion. Anyways, I'm just trying to say here, you must focus on these halachot and study laws of Shabbat. It's very, very important. Okay. I want to use a fan on Shabbat. Okay? So the fan is working. And I feel that it's too cold. I'm sitting here, studying, learning, reading, whatever, by the table. But this fan aiming through my face, directly to my face, it's really uncomfortable. Can I move it? Can I take it away? Or if someone asks, hey, can you put this fan to me? Can you turn it to me? Or there is a knob on the top. It's not electrical knob. It's a mechanical one that you press it and then it start to move. Right, start to move. When you press it again, it stops. Where were you? Can I do that on Shabbat?
Yes.
So that you're saying yes, Amy. Why?
Because
you're not really doing anything.
turning it on and
Right?
off, and you're
So
not-
it's permitted.
It's
It's
right
not
there.
fire. If it would be a fire, you can't touch it on Shabbat. If you have a torch, if you have a candle, you can move it from side to side. But this is, just be careful not to pull it out of the outlet. All right? So you may use it the way you like, turn it any side you want. Make sure that the top is a mechanical stopper, and then you can even stop it. There is no problem. If a fan is blowing on Shabbat, it is permissible to change the direction it is facing. Now, the next halacha, I want you to tell me why. It is forbidden to handle an electric lamp or heater on Shabbat when they are lit. Can you tell me why? What's the difference between electrical lamp or what is it here? Or heater on Shabbat? Fan, fine. Heater, no. Why? I mentioned that just 2 minutes
Fine.
ago.
Yeah,
This is Moshe Fire.
Yes. You said, what did you say? I'm sorry?
Fire.
Fire,
So
correct.
Just like you.
Correct. So this is because there's fire in it, okay? It's like moving candle or torch. So this is why we're not handling such an item. Obviously, if there is some sort of a heater that doesn't use a spiral with heat or any other technique, it will be permissible to use it, to remove, okay?
And a lot of heaters now have like a built-in mechanism where if you move it too much, then it kicks off. It turns itself.
Yeah, it's at the very bottom. They have a knob. If it fails, it's out of safety. But, okay, so that's another issue you're saying. If you touch it, you might turn it on.
I've used one before.
Right. I did it.
Like this,
Right.
And it clicked off.
I know, because they have a knob at the very bottom. And I did it myself, not on Shabbat. On the weekday, I didn't understand what's going on until I saw it. Every time I pick it up, it hit the bottom. Yeah, it's out of safety. If it fails on something, it won't cause any fire. So what I just put a tape on it. So Baruch Hashem, be careful. Okay. Now, learning that, the next situation is the following. What is it? Electric samovar or a water heater. You know, the pot that you have using here on Shabbat. Can we use it? So the rabbis are, debating. It is proper to refrain from handling an electric samovar on Shabbat. Many people using and what you call it, the digital timer. And some people using a mechanical timer. So obviously on Shabbat, it's highly recommended to use the mechanical one because you may adjust it during Shabbat. If you want to lengthen the time the air conditioning is working or the fan, or to shorten, but we need to learn how to do it. Okay? We will study it Bezrat Hashem later on. So the situation is as follows. All right. If a timer has turned off an electric lamp, it is permissible to turn the switch on the lamp to the off position so that the timer will not turn it on again. It is best to stipulate before Shabbat that one intends to do this so that the switch will not be a muktzeh. You're saying if something happening, I want to handle it. It's enough to say that. The rule is as follows. When I can, let's say I'm sitting on a table, okay, I'll give you the situation and then we'll learn this very important rule. Okay? We're sitting on Shabbat table and we notice that the air conditioning works not properly, meaning it works, but not to the temperature of our desire. Someone, let's say, accidentally put it on 80. You want it to be on 72, 75. So you're sitting and it's really hot and you won't go ahead and turn it off. I'm talking about a mechanical, what you call this please? No. Thermostat, thank you. A mechanical thermostat. If this is digital, there's nothing we can do. This is why I have in my house still a digital. The one that turns or the one that has the knobs on the sides, right? So what you're going to do, right now it's hot. If I take the temperature down to 75, what's going to happen?
It's going to kick on.
It's going to kick on. It's prohibited on Shabbat. What can I do? I have to wait till it turns on by itself. And then now when it's on, I can take it down from 80 to 75. I'm just continuing its position.
It's on already.
It's on already. So I have to be careful not accidentally to push it to 85. It will turn it off. So I just take it down to 70, your desired temperature. All right? So I'm lengthening the current situation. It's working and I want it to work longer so then I can take it down. Sometimes we put it already on 70 or 65, it's too cold, everybody complains, it's freezing in the house. What we have to do, you have to wait till it stops and then I'm lengthening the current situation now. I can stretch it up, bring it up to 75 or 80 or whatever. Make sense? So I don't really do anything, I just causing it to work or stop working for a longer time. Any questions on this point? You got it? Okay. So same with
you need to wait. Could I just ask you? You need to wait until it levels, like it stops.
If on which case?
Like in the temperature. If the temperature is too cold.
It's too cold, right? Let's say it's too cold. If I try to raise the temperature, I'm going to cause to stop. So I have to wait till it stops. Now I can do whatever I want. Now whatever I want, I can take it out. Sometimes it happens, right? Sometimes it happens that it's too cold and it doesn't stop. It just doesn't stop. Or goes for usually the air conditioning will work in cycles of 7 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes. Sometimes it goes like that for 2 hours, either too low or too high. So in this case, it depends. In some cases, you may call a non-Jew to help you out, saying, "Woo, it's freezing here." If he gets that, he'll turn it up. If he doesn't get it, he says, "Can I get you a coat?" Oh, he wasted your time. Or, it's too hot here. I hope you'll get the hint. Yes.
Yeah, how is that different than like cooking on Shabbat? Because the stove would be on, so why couldn't you adjust the temperature since you can adjust the temperature on the air conditioner?
It's two different methods, two different things. Cooking on Shabbat, it's prohibited, period. It doesn't matter if you turn it up or on, raise the temperature or not raising temperature with a non-Jew or a Jew. It's not permitted with a Jew, obviously. But you can't cook on Shabbat, period. Okay?
The only thing to do is keep it like warm.
Yeah, so we have the blech, or we have
You know,
the tray, the plata, and we keep it warm. Obviously, you're putting a cooked food in it, ready food. If, in case it's not ready for children or for something like that, this is something you already discussed, and you may do that before Shabbat, but it's going to be a problem to open and check it out. If you open it, you can put the lid back, because you're going to add more heat. It's going to cause a problem. This is why it's highly recommended to cook before Shabbat everything, okay? For example, just because you mentioned that, what happened, I woke up in the morning on Shabbat, and I wanted to eat, hard eggs. So I turned the stove on, and I put 2 eggs, and now they become hard egg after how long? How long it takes to get hard egg?
like 10 minutes.
3 minutes, according to science. It makes it hard. Let's say 5 minutes, okay? 5 minutes to get a nice hard egg, okay? That's for 1 egg. How much is going to take for 2 eggs?
3, the same.
Same, right? Everybody says 10, 6. Slap them in the face. No.
Same.
The same time, right? So, I did it on Shabbat. This is just an example. I didn't do it, okay? I did it on Shabbat. And then I said, oh my God, it's Shabbos. Shabbat. I forgot. Can I eat it? I did it accidentally. Right. So I cannot eat it. No one can eat from it till after Shabbat. After Shabbat, anyone else can eat from it. And also you just have to wait some time, as after Shabbat, the time it took you to cook. All right? Accidentally. Because it doesn't become non-kosher food. It's still kosher. And that was accidentally. If it was purposely, it's forbidden for you forever. Other people can enjoy from it after Shabbat. Just have to wait the period of time it takes to cook. Either eggs or whatever you cooked. All right? But this is just an example of halachot, laws, that things can happen and people just don't study. You have to study the laws of Shabbat. This kind of thing sometimes happens. Okay. Speak. Unmute. I'm not mute. Oh, I was mute.
You're muted.
There we go. We can hear you now.
Okay. I don't know what happened. So just take this part and from the internet later, from the YouTube. I hope I didn't disappear for too long. I didn't touch the screen. I don't know what happened. Okay, moving on. I'm going to share with you a halacha that happens to us almost every Shabbat here in Dallas, and I'm sure it happens in many other places. The halacha discuss about, let's just read it. In those places where there is a lamp that turns on automatically when someone walks within a certain area. People usually install it in the parking lot or close to their fence. Anytime you pass by, it's going to turn on.
The motion light.
Motion light, correct. Now let's say the whole alley is full of it. What can I do? I can't walk there on Shabbat, but if I walk, I'm going to turn it on. Can I walk there on Shabbat?
If your intention is not to turn it
Correct. My intention is not to turn it on. My intention is to walk, go home.
Yeah.
Therefore, it will be permitted. Okay? So certainly on Shabbat, one should wait until a non-Jew passes by and enter that area together with a non-Jew. Okay. Some poskim rule that if it is in the middle of the night and there are no pedestrians and one has no other way of getting to one's destination, one may be lenient and go through the area anyways. Okay, so you're not supposed to wait there for hours. I have a watch, and my watch is operated with a battery. Can I carry it on Shabbat on my hand? Watch using a battery.
No, because no carrying, right?
So
no carrying,
if you're in Eruv, you live in Eruv, in a place that you may carry items, it's permitted. But today, you have to be careful. Back then, we had only watches with the batteries. Today, you have smartwatch.
Right.
So it counts the heartbeat, distance, give you updates. It's like a phone on your hand.
Yeah.
So these kind of phones, this kind of watches are not permitted to be used on Shabbat. Okay? But the one with the battery, no problem. Someone accidentally, for example, turn on a lamp on Shabbat. The halacha says you cannot use that lamp till after Shabbat. Okay? If a Jew turned on electric lamp on Shabbat, it is forbidden for any Jew to benefit from the light of that lamp on Shabbat. It's kind of like what we talked about the eggs. You can't eat it on Shabbat, but after Shabbat, you may eat from it. Wow, time's running. Okay. Someone has a light turned on in his bedroom. And then he noticed that someone on Shabbat accidentally turned it off. It happens all the time. It happens to us many times. Unfortunately, you go to the restroom, the light is on already. You comes out, automatically what do? Boom. How many times we stopped ourselves a second before we touched the knob? It happens all the time.
The bathroom is the hardest.
Right. So, in case the light turns off in the bedroom, you may still use it on Shabbat. If someone desecrated the Shabbat and turned off the light in a bedroom, it is nevertheless permissible to sleep there on Shabbat. Okay, next.
Because you can't use the room anymore, is what you're saying, once the light gets turned on and off?
What do you mean?
So if the light gets turned off, are you saying that some people wouldn't go into the room at all?
Because you left light for a reason. It goes against what you have light, so you want to read, I don't know what you want to do. So it's not like you're benefiting from something, you benefit from something you didn't want to happen. It is forbidden on Shabbat to enter a room if it is set up so that upon anyone's entrance, the lights or the air conditioning goes on. And there is some places like that in hotels. They sense that you left the room and it turns off. You're coming in. So you have to check that out, what you're going to do. And some places you clap, lights goes on, or you say, you give a command. Today is, on one hand, our life much easier, but in the other hand, a bit more complicated. You can speak something, and then Alexa are going to work, or whatever. You have to be careful with these things, okay? Okay. Any questions? The next halacha that I'm going to tell you, it's debatable among the rabbis. These halacha I'm reading is according to Rabbi Yitzchak Yosef, the chief rabbi of Israel, and Chacham Ovadia Yosef. But some rabbis disagree with that. Okay? The halacha talks about the following. Without question, it is forbidden to ride to the synagogue or anywhere else on Shabbat on a battery-powered wheelchair. You know the one like you see disabled people go, all right, like you see in Walmart or. So, I mean, first of all, what I just said, everybody agreed. That's number one, all the rabbis. But there is a system from an institution called Tzomet. We have here in our community a few people. In Israel, it's common, you see this more. They have a special system for Shabbat. They install it on the battery-operated wheelchair, and you can use it, according to some opinion, on Shabbat and Yom Tov. And it's a big, big help for those who needs to go outside of the house, not only for the shul, just to have social life, so or participate in davening or Torah classes for them to be all the Shabbat at home. You know, it's going to be really hard. So you can look it up. It's called Tzomet or Zomet with Z, and people buying it directly from them. The whole wheelchair, it comes here, put it together, and you can use it. According to this opinion, okay, it's called grama. It's grama. There is a button you press, nothing happens, and then it's a timer. It's work on timer. It delays. That's the idea. So it's not the time to explain how it works, but many rabbis permit it on Shabbat. So you can, in certain cases, be lenient and rely upon these opinions. Okay, make sense? Yeah. Okay. Now, there's people that using hearing aids, and it's a battery operated. Can we use it on Shabbat? It is permissible to use hearing aid on Shabbat even though it is battery operated, as long as it was set and turned on before Shabbat began. Using it does not involve an act of the melacha of mavir, burning, or that of mechabe, or turning off, extinguishing. The cantor or the person who chants the Torah reading may conduct the services even though there are people in the congregation who are listening with the aid of such devices. Another thing to discuss, two more halachot and we're done for today, okay? Today there is some sort of intercom that people like to use when they put it next to the baby's crib. They leave it upstairs or any other room. The baby needs this quiet, and the mother, the family, whatever, are in the kitchen or in the living room or outside. Some sort of a monitor. Can we use that on Shabbat? Leave it, let's say, in the kitchen, or so we can monitor the baby's active. Okay. All right. So let's see. The halacha says it is permissible to place an intercom machine that was turned on before Shabbat, aiming, like you said, before Shabbat began, in a room where a baby is sleeping, so that his parents will hear when he wakes up and starts crying, and they can come to take care of him. When the parents come into the baby's room, they may speak freely, even though their voices will be broadcast through the intercom. This is a case of psik reshe. It's going to happen anyways. It's not your intention, right? Concerning an act forbidden by our sages when the person does not have any interest in it taking place. Okay. About adjusting a timer, we already discussed. It's really easy. I will conclude this class, finish this class with, and now one more question. Can I use scales on Shabbat to weigh things, to measure things? Let's say I ate so much shulant and I say I have to weigh myself. I mean, this is disgusting what's happening here. Everybody thinks that on Shabbat morning, right? It's too much chamin, too much shulant. Let me weigh myself. What we tell them, Rabbi, it's not the digital one. It's the analog one. It's the mechanical one.
I feel like it has nothing to do with Shabbat.
But you weigh something on the. Didn't you weigh the matzah on Passover? Even the matzah, it falls on Shabbat.
You weigh it before.
No, people weigh on during the Chag, during Shabbat.
No.
So the halacha says it is forbidden to stand on any scale to measure one's body weight, and certainly not on an electric scale. Using scale for a matzah special mitzvah from the Torah to eat, it's permitted to do on the Yom Tov. It's no problem. We did it ourselves this past Passover. We had the very special soft matzah. We have to weigh it. We could eat many big piece. We have to weigh it. We give it to all the guests around the table. So it's permitted. For matzah, it's a mitzvah from the Torah. Weighing yourself on the scale is from the Rabbanan, a rabbinical law. All right. Any questions? No. Thank you very much. Next time, I know it's really crowded here today, guys. Please bring chairs with you. From there, don't stand around. Okay. Thank you, everybody. See you, Bezrat Hashem, next time. I think we have a class.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Our next class is on Wednesday, Bezrat Hashem. Just wait too. Bye-bye.